Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Come a little closer. No? It's fine. Today we're going to be talking about Leonhard Euler. Euler was a mathematician, physicist, and a university headmaster. He had several notable accomplishments, including the lunar motion theory and the Euler line. So, let's talk more about that.
Euler was born in Switzerland on April 15, 1707. He was originally supposed to be a religious leader, and he studied with the famous scholar Johann Bernoulli. He graduated at 16 in 1723, and he moved to Russia in 1727 to serve in the Navy. He joined the St. Petersburg Academy as a professor of physics and mathematics, and in 1734 he married Katharina, and they had many children, but sadly only 5 outlived him. They were married for 39 years. She died, and then he remarried her half-sister. Kind of weird, but okay. In 1736, he wrote his first book, Mechanica. He later lost his vision in his right eye. In the 1740s, Euler became the director of mathematics at the newly created Berlin Academy of Science and Beaux Arts. In 1766, Euler returned to Russia to head at St. Petersburg Academy. In the early 1770s, he lost his sight completely. However, this did not stop him from publishing articles and continuing math and science. Euler died on September 18, 1783, because of a brain hemorrhage in St. Petersburg.
Okay, so Leonhard Euler, in the years spanning from 1755 to 1770, was responsible for the ever-important calculus textbooks known as You mind getting a shot of that real quick? Those are some real big words that I would prefer not to be called racist for saying incorrectly. Is that racist? It doesn't matter. These textbooks provided countless new formulas and indefinite integration methods as a means of which to solve geometry problems. The advancements made by these books also involved physics and the development of linear differential equations. In addition to these, Euler also introduced a variety of math terminologies such as this one, which represents sum, E, which represents the base of natural algorithms, and the sides of a triangle represented by A, B, and C. Terms such as f of x are especially relevant to our Algebra 2 curriculum. A majority of major concepts in this subject, and as well as geometry, can be attributed to them. More of these terms popularized by Euler include pi, which is the circumference of the diameter ratio in a circle, and I as the square root of root -1. The sun, the moon, and the earth were 3 of Euler's biggest obstacles on his journey to polishing the lunar motion theory, a theory that has remained partially unsolved for hundreds of years. His participation in the development of lunar tables in association with the British Admiralty involved solving for longitude at sea, or at least trying to. The accuracy of the lunar motion theory was enhanced after Euler went blind, but his ability to internally solve calculations at an extremely high rate and difficulty contributed to the further development of this concept. In the same way that he dedicated most of his life to this theory, Euler also spent a large portion of his life tackling the theory of numbers. In 1783, his dedication would pay off, as the theory of numbers would be greatly impacted by the law of quadratic reciprocity.
So this guy, Euler, is actually pretty famous, and he got a lot of stuff named after him. So we got all these roads, actually 20 roads. This road, this road, this road, this road, this road. Even that road is also named after him. So he got a lot of roads. Another thing that he has is money. Euler actually has the 10 Swiss franc dollar bill with his face on it. Isn't that so cool? Imagine having money, but your face. Another thing that's very cool about Euler is his stamp collection. You ever got that one weird uncle who has like a bunch of stamps? Well, Euler got stamps of himself. Got 15 stamps of himself. I bet you don't have 15 stamps of yourself. Alright, what's another thing Euler? Oh yeah, here's something very cool about Euler. You ever skated on ice? Well, Euler has a whole jump named after him because of his lunar theory orbit thing. Another thing that's really cool is his like 70 different math things that he created. He made like this formula, this formula, this formula, that formula, this formula, and 65 other formulas that I'm not going to list here. So yeah, it's pretty smart. Well, you know what would be very cool? Let's maybe scale things up. And by scaling things up, I mean an asteroid. Do you have an asteroid named after you? Nobody has an asteroid named after them, except for Euler. Yeah, I bet you didn't see that one coming. Another thing you didn't see coming is the font I typed this out in. He has a whole font, Euler font. Very cool, you should check it out. So, fonts are cool. You know what they use fonts in? Books. He has a book prize that you can get awarded for writing a cool book. You know what is related to books, but not at all? The opposite of books is computers. You know what you can do on computers? Program. That's right. Euler has a programming language. Here's the Git repository, huh? But you don't have a Git repository about your own programming language. You know another thing? He has a whole club that's just a fan club of him. The Euler Society. But you don't have a whole society named after you. Yeah, that's what I thought. And if that society is pretty cool, you might want to listen to his genre of music. Well, his music actually really sucks. It's pretty terrible. So he has a whole math website called the Euler Club, which is just a bunch of cool math problems with coding that you try and solve. And the very last thing, but the thing that can make small things really large, is the Euler telescope.
Euler was honored many times in many different ways. His work may not be noticed by the everyday person, but in the many fields of scientists and mathematics, he provided his help towards furthering their research. He discovered many formulas and theories that have shaped modern geometry curriculum and Algebra 2 curriculum such as our own. Euler was a pretty cool guy. He lived 76 years and developed countless concepts key to mathematics. He greatly advanced the fields of geometry, physics, and mathematical terminology. He even created the idea of function notation, our favorite. Even after going blind, he continued to work on his mathematics and physics. His influence can be seen in our Algebra 2 curriculum and beyond. My name is Ethan, and you've been watching Euler Channel.